So my name is Ralf Ponicki. I'm the director of UPM Formi, and I just want to give you a brief introduction about UPM and the materials we are dealing with, just to set up the scene for my colleague Ewe Sarikowski, who is then just taking it further and directly going into the 3D details. So UPM in a brief. I think everybody, since we are really mainly having a Scandinavian audience present, is well known, but in general, UPM as such is really based on wood and is dealing with wood for really decades already. We have started really harvesting and foresting the wood and turn it into logs, or even for energy creation, wood particles that are then really going into incineration really decades ago. But there's a transition phase right at the moment ongoing. It has started more than 10 years ago, where UPM is moving from this traditional wood industry into really a biofor industry. And what does it mean is that we really have new defined business areas, which are about biorefining, what you see here in the second tab. UPM, for example, Raflatak, what is about all labels that are also utilizing renewable-based materials, UPM special papers, communication papers, plywood, and the so-called new businesses where also the UPM Formi belongs to. We are present in more than 55 production, we are working with more than 55 production plants in more than 40 countries. And in general, more than 18,000 people are working for UPM. So that means when it comes to services, it is really like you have us present around the globe, and wherever in the world you are interested in renewable-based solutions, you just can simply access us. When it comes to products based on renewable resources, where do you find us in daily applications? It's really the packaging, the labeling, transportation, but also in the bioplastics where we are focusing on. That means that normally, traditionally, these plastic articles are made out of fossil-based materials, and we are trying more and more to replace these fossil-based articles and materials with bio-based materials, especially utilizing the residues of the existing wood industry. And last but not least, there is really a huge customer basis that we are dealing with right at the moment. It's more than 200 million end users that are using UPM products already. That means that finally it's more than 13,000 buying customers. What finally is it all about is really that, and this is where UPM is dedicated to, is that we are moving from the left side to the right side. And this is where this little switch is indicating that we are switching the world from the fossil-based into the bioeconomy, based on really the forest industry, residues from the forest industry, producing and developing new products that are having a very, very little carbon impact, much less than that what finally the fossil materials are providing. And next to that, not sacrificing any kind of performance, but really even adding performance. So when it comes to the biocomposites, what we are representing right at the moment, and they're especially going to the UPM Formi materials, we do have production plants in Finland, but we also have our other division, the UPM Profi, down there in Borsal. But Borsal is more dedicated to the wood plastic compounds and not so much to the granulate production. The granulate production is located in Finland, in Lahti, so pretty also close to the forest industry, so that even these kind of distances between the sourcing of the material and then the final production are kept really tight. So UPM biocomposites, especially when it comes to UPM Formi, what we do is we really utilize the forest, the existing forests that is managed in a very sustainable way. extract out of this wood then the fibers and the particles, as well as the feedstock for the polymer production, and produce then ready-to-use composites, biocomposites. So that means that you could then really take this up and either you go in injection molding, extrusion, or 3D printing and print out of these materials then your articles. Remarkable is that these materials are also then recyclable, and this is also described already beforehand, that even if the article is created, you can grind it again back into granulates, melt these again, and then produce the article again. When it comes to portfolio, it is about these three big production lines. It's the UPM Formi Pro. That is very much about performance and sound performance, sound dampening. We do have the UPM Formi EcoAce that is sustainable designed. It's based on almost 100% renewable resources. And Formi 3D that is dedicated to the 3D printing process. That is described now also later on by Ewe a bit more in detail. And this is the point also where I want to close my little introduction about UPM. Also our transition from fossil really into bioeconomy and bioindustry, utilizing renewable resourced materials and creating valuable products out of that. And with that, I close, stop sharing, and hand over to Ewe.